Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, General Hospital Diaries. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. General Hospital spoilers for the week of April 21, 2025 are here. Next week, fans can look forward to Josslyn Jax taking the daring step. Meanwhile, Jordan Ashford makes a strategic deal with Jen Sidwell. Coming up, Sonny Corinthos opens up to Carly Spencer. Carly will likely find out about Sonny's heart condition and his scheduled pacemaker surgery. The news could catch Carly off guard, especially if Sonny has been keeping it from her for a while. Still, she'll offer her full support. Despite their past as a couple, they continue to care about each other's well-being. While Carly is supportive of Sonny's health journey, she also has growing concerns about Willow Tate Corinthos and Drew Kane. Jack Brennan warned his close companion that Drew might make a risky move while trying to be the hero. It's worth noting that Willow and Drew have both signed guardianship paperwork to protect the children in case of an emergency. That said, Drew's priorities seem questionable. His actions lately suggest he's more focused on personal wins than the people involved. According to General Hospital spoilers for next week, Jordan Ashford is set to become the newest hire under Jen Sidwell. However, Jordan is walking a fine line with this decision. Curtis Ashford and Anna Devane are already starting to grow suspicious. Fans can also expect Josslyn to take a gutsy step. As part of her WSB assignment, she's aiming for the research assistant role with Professor Henry Dalton. The professor gives off some unsettling vibes. If Joss lands that position, it could stir up even more drama between her and her fellow students. Meanwhile, sparks continue to fly between Trina Robinson and Kai Taylor. Elsewhere, Alexis Davis went ahead and accepted Ava Jerome's proposal. However, this secret might not stay hidden forever. Molly Lansing Davis or Christina Corinthos Davis could eventually learn about the payments. Speaking of Christina, Rick Lansing is worried that Ava might be in danger once again. Over in Sasha Gilmore Corgan's world, she may face scrutiny regarding her decision to accept Sidwell's $250,000 offer. At the same time, Sasha is growing closer to Jason Morgan, which could lead to some complicated developments. General Hospital reveals that Sonny Corinthos made a heartfelt sacrifice, while Molly Lansing Davis found herself with an unexpected hero. Giovanni Gio Palmieri also had a new clue that could impact Lulu Spencer. So here's how all the action unfolded on Thursday's episode. Out near the Quartermain estate, Cody Bell arrived on horseback and discovered that Molly had a flat tire. Cody tried to help by changing the tire, but the spare was damaged and unusable. Thinking on his feet, Cody proposed a backup plan and convinced Molly to hop on the horse with him. The two shared a close and slightly awkward ride together. At the Quartermain mansion, Harrison Chase and Brooke Lynn Quartermain talked about their hopes for starting a family. They came to a mutual understanding that adoption might be the best path forward. Brooke Lynn and Chase shared a sweet moment as they discussed welcoming a baby into their lives, but also expressed openness to adopting an older child. Meanwhile, at the deputy mayor's office, Jordan Ashford was packing up her things when Curtis Ashford stopped by, suspicious about the real reason behind her resignation. Curtis wasn't convinced this had anything to do with a simple disagreement between Jordan and Laura Collins over Sonny. The only other time Curtis had seen Jordan act this way was when she was deep undercover, so he pressed for the truth. Jordan, not wanting to damage their bond by lying, urged Curtis to give her some space. Though still concerned, Curtis ultimately agreed to respect her privacy and reminded her that he's there if she needs him. Over at Sonny's, he hosted a birthday party for Dante Falconeri. Outside, Dan noticed Rocco Falconeri seemed troubled and encouraged him to open up. Rocco admitted he'd been reading negative comments from a press conference, particularly those criticizing Laura Collins' connection to Sonny. Since Rocco felt like the tie between Laura and Sonny, he blamed himself and was uneasy about Sonny attending his debate, especially with Laura in the audience. Sonny overheard and reassured Rocco that he'd simply watch the recording of the event later, letting Rocco focus without pressure. Inside, Olivia Quartermain learned Sonny wasn't attending the debate and grew frustrated, especially when he chalked it up to business. Dante suggested they be honest with Olivia, but Sonny preferred to shield Rocco by keeping the real reason under wraps. Dante's celebration included Lulu, Gio, Christina Corinthos Davis, Donna Corinthos, Danny Morgan, and Lois Cirillo. During a conversation, Gio brought up how his mother was traveling up until his birth, which clearly unsettled Lois. When Gio mentioned that his mom went into labor mid-concert and gave birth in Los Angeles, Lulu seemed intrigued by the details. At the law office, Lucas Jones was shocked to learn that Marco Rios is the son of Jen Sidwell. When Alexis Davis joined the conversation, Marco insisted he hadn't intentionally missiled anyone. After Lucas stepped out, Alexis pointed out that Marco had still withheld important information. However, Marco defended himself by comparing Alexis' own journey, how she distanced herself from the Cassidy name to forge her own path and thought she might relate. Since Sidwell had no formal convictions, Marco made that clear and also referenced how others, like Sonny and Jason Morgan, had navigated legal trouble without lasting consequences. Though Marco wasn't sure where he stood with the job, Alexis said she needed to speak with Diane Miller and hinted that a thorough background check was likely on the horizon. At Carly Spencer's place, Felicia Scorpio passed along Max Scorpio's concerns about the referendum's effect on Laura's position. Felicia thought Carly might be able to help Sonny come around to the outcome, but Carly wasn't so sure and doubted Sonny would simply accept the voters' decision without a fight. Later, Lucas arrived with updates for Carly about a tense moment involving Jason and Marco. When Carly learned Sidwell was Marco's father, she guessed that connection may have played a role in Jason's actions. Initially, Lucas felt like the Sidwell revelation had ended any romantic potential with Marco, but as the conversation went on, it became clear he just needed more time to process everything. Sonny Corinthos, the ever-protective patriarch of the Corinthos family, found himself in a precarious situation as the episode opened. The escalating mob war, fueled by Pikeman security group's relentless pursuit of power, threatened to engulf his loved ones. The latest threat, a planned attack on a family gathering, forced Sonny into a heart-wrenching decision. Knowing that direct confrontation with Pikeman would put everyone he holds dear at risk, Sonny opted for a different, more dangerous strategy, a strategic retreat. He orchestrated a plan to dismantle his organization, believing that by removing himself from the equation, he could strip Pikeman of its primary target and ensure the safety of his family. The episode showcased the internal turmoil Sonny faced. He wrestled with the idea of abandoning his empire, the empire he built from the ground up, the empire that defined him for decades. His conversations with Nina Reeves were particularly poignant. Nina, torn between her loyalty to Sonny and her inherent desire for him to abandon the dangerous life, struggled to offer him the support he needed without compromising her own values. "I have to do this, Nina," Sonny confessed, his voice thick with emotion. "I can't live with myself if anything happens to them. This is the only way." Nina, her eyes filled with worry, pleaded with him to reconsider. "There has to be another way, Sonny. There always is. You can't just give up everything you've worked for." But Sonny remained resolute. He believed that this drastic measure was the only path to long-term security for his family. The scene concluded with Sonny issuing a series of directives to his most trusted lieutenants, ordering them to dismantle operations, liquidate assets, and effectively erase the Corinthos organization from the Port Charles underworld. The fallout from Sonny's decision is expected to be significant. Not only will it impact his immediate family, including Michael Corinthos, Carly Spencer, and his children, but it will also ripple through the entire Port Charles landscape. His rivals will undoubtedly see this as an opportunity to seize power, potentially creating a new and even more dangerous power vacuum. Meanwhile, miles away from the chaos in Port Charles, Molly Lansing Davis found herself in a life-threatening situation. Stranded in the remote Canadian wilderness after a snowstorm disrupted her travel plans, Molly faced the harsh realities of nature's unforgiving power. Her initial optimism quickly faded as the hours turned into days. The lack of supplies, coupled with the plummeting temperatures, began to take a toll on her physical and mental state. Just as she began to lose hope, a figure emerged from the blizzard. The rescuer, a rugged and resourceful woodsman named Jasper, stumbled upon Molly while tracking the game. Jasper, accustomed to surviving in the harsh wilderness, immediately recognized the severity of Molly's situation. He provided her with warmth, food, and shelter. Their interactions revealed a stark contrast between their worlds. Molly, a sophisticated lawyer accustomed to the comforts of city life, was completely out of her element. Jasper, on the other hand, possessed an intimate knowledge of the natural world and a self-reliance that Molly found both admirable and humbling. As Molly regained her strength, she and Jasper shared stories and perspectives. Molly learned about Jasper's solitary life, his deep connection to nature, and his unwavering commitment to self-sufficiency. Jasper, in turn, was fascinated by Molly's tales of legal battles, social justice, and the complexities of modern society. The burgeoning connection between Molly and Jasper raised questions about Molly's relationship with T.J. Ashford. While their shared experiences in the wilderness created a unique bond, the possibility of romantic complications loomed. Back in Port Charles, a glimmer of hope emerged in the long and arduous battle to awaken Lulu Spencer from her coma. Gio Palmieri, diligently researching Lulu's case, stumbled upon a previously overlooked detail in her medical records. He hypothesized that a specific type of therapy, one that had shown promising results in similar cases, could potentially stimulate the dormant neural pathways and trigger a response. He agreed to conduct further testing to determine the viability of the proposed therapy. The episode featured a tense scene in the neurological lab as Griffin and Gio worked together, meticulously analyzing the data. The results of their initial tests were encouraging, suggesting that Lulu's brain was indeed receptive to the stimulation. However, they cautioned against premature optimism, emphasizing the need for further research and clinical trials. Despite the cautious optimism, the possibility of a breakthrough in Lulu's case brought a renewed sense of hope to her loved ones. Dante Falconeri, Lulu's devoted husband, was visibly moved by the news. He expressed his gratitude to Gio and Griffin, clinging to the hope that Lulu might finally awaken and return to him and their children. The implications of Gio's discovery extend beyond Lulu's case. If the proposed therapy proves effective, it could potentially revolutionize the treatment of patients suffering from similar neurological conditions, offering a new pathway to recovery and improved quality of life. General Hospital spoilers say Lucas and Marco's relationship will face more twists and turns. General Hospital spoilers packed with emotion, twists, and unexpected turns. The scene opens with Cody Bell stepping in to help Molly Lansing Davis in a moment of need. Meanwhile, Curtis Ashford shows a more complex side. While he's been understanding in recent episodes, there appears to be a cost for that compassion, and fans will catch a glimpse of a less pleasant version of Curtis. Also on the horizon is Dante Falconeri's birthday celebration, which promises anything but a calm gathering. In the wake of Jordan Ashford's resignation, both Curtis and Anna Devane find themselves questioning her motives. The preview shows Curtis confronting Jordan, hinting that her departure wasn't entirely innocent. He tells her there's a price for his understanding, possibly alluding to her hidden agenda involving Jen Sidwell. Curtis has always shown fierce loyalty to Laura Collins, so the question becomes, will he really just let Jordan walk away after possibly leaving the mayor in a tight spot? Elsewhere, over at Carly Spencer's, a surprise visitor drops by in Thursday's episode. It's Lucas Jones, who shows up just after a tense exchange at the law office between Jason Morgan and Marco Rios. Lucas isn't clear on what he walked into, but he senses that the conversation wasn't exactly casual. Carly, unaware of what Jason is pressing Marco about, may decide to look into it through Sonny Corinthos, though she might also admit their relationship isn't what it once was. Spoilers for today's General Hospital episode also tease a revealing conversation between Marco and Alexis Davis. While Marco remained tight-lipped with Jason, he could open up to Alexis about the complexities of his connection to Sidwell, and what he shares may end up protecting his career. Sonny's instincts have him wary, and rightly so, about the coincidence of Sidwell's son landing a position at Diane Miller's firm. On the surface, it feels like a setup. Still, Marco doesn't quite give off the wrong impression, which leaves the door open for him to earn the trust of Diane, Alexis, Sonny, and others. In a lighter moment, Cody makes a bold entrance on horseback. It seems he's galloping in to help someone, and that someone is likely Molly. Fans can expect a dramatic and heroic moment. Elsewhere, Harrison Chase and Brooklyn Quartermain take a moment to talk about their future together. Since BLQ opened up about her past and the teen adoption story, their plans for a baby have been they're preparing to revisit the idea of starting a family. But just as things begin to fall into place, secrets from the past could be waiting to surface. And don't forget Dante's birthday bash. Hosted by Sonny, the celebration may not go as planned, especially with Lulu Spencer wondering where the birthday boy has disappeared to. Finally, Felicia Scorpio shares a touching moment, reflecting on how current events may ultimately be a good thing for someone's family. It's an episode filled with intrigue, emotion, and the kind of drama that keeps fans coming back for more. The week has been a whirlwind of suspense for Cody Bell, and the drama is far from over. After a series of reckless decisions driven by his desperate need to clear his debt and protect those he cares about, Cody finds himself in a dire predicament. He's been working with Selena Wu to extract money from Gladys Corbin, and the plan has spiraled out of control, landing Cody in the crosshairs of some dangerous individuals. In Thursday's episode, Cody's gamble takes a terrifying turn. In a desperate attempt to escape a confrontation, he makes a daring move that ends with him plunging into the turbulent waters of the Port Charles harbor. The circumstances surrounding his fall remain murky, leaving viewers questioning whether it was an accident, a deliberate act, or a consequence of his own risky choices. The preview shows a frantic scene unfolding at the waterfront. Dante Falconeri, Cody's close friend and confidant, is visibly distraught as he witnesses the unfolding tragedy. Dante, a seasoned police detective, springs into action, leading the rescue efforts to locate Cody and bring him to safety. Adding to the tension, Sam McCall is also present at the scene, her face etched with worry. Sam has been a source of support and guidance for Cody, offering him friendship and a helping hand as he navigates the complexities of Port Charles. Her presence suggests that she may be involved in Cody's current situation, either directly or indirectly. The rescue operation is fraught with challenges, as the harbor's currents and the fading light make it difficult to locate Cody. As the minutes tick by, the fear grows that Cody may not survive the ordeal. Curtis Ashford has always been portrayed as a charismatic and level-headed figure, offering a calming presence amidst the chaos of Port Charles. However, Thursday's episode promises to peel back the layers of Curtis's personality, revealing a darker, more conflicted side. Since the shooting at the Metro Court pool, Curtis has been grappling with the aftermath of his paralysis and the emotional toll it has taken on his life. He struggled to accept his new reality and has been pushing away those closest to him, including his wife, Portia Robinson. The preview hints at a confrontation between Curtis and Portia, fueled by Curtis's anger and frustration. He unleashes a torrent of pent-up emotions, accusing Portia of not understanding his struggles and of trying to control his life. Portia, heartbroken by Curtis's words, tries to reason with him, but her efforts are met with resistance. As Curtis's anger escalates, he makes a series of hurtful remarks that expose his inner turmoil. He questions his worth as a husband and a man, and he reveals a deep-seated fear of being a burden to those around him. This raw and emotional portrayal of Curtis marks a significant turning point for the character. It challenges viewers' preconceived notions about him and sheds light on the hidden vulnerabilities that lie beneath his composed exterior. These are the questions that viewers will be pondering as they witness Curtis's unraveling on Thursday's episode. Today is supposed to be a day of celebration for Dante Falconeri, as he marks another year of life. However, Dante's birthday is overshadowed by a series of personal struggles that threaten to derail this happiness. As mentioned earlier, Dante is deeply affected by Cody's near-death experience. He feels a sense of responsibility for his friend's plight and is determined to do everything in his power to help him. The stress of the situation weighs heavily on Dante, casting a shadow over his birthday festivities. Adding to Dante's woes, his relationship with Sam McCall is also facing challenges. While they remain deeply in love, they have been struggling to navigate the complexities of their blended family and the demands of their respective careers. The preview hints at a tense conversation between Dante and Sam, where they discuss their concerns about the future of their relationship. Despite the challenges he faces, Dante is surrounded by loved ones who want to celebrate his birthday. His father, Sonny Corinthos, makes an effort to be there for his son, offering him support and encouragement. Lulu Spencer, Dan's ex-wife, is also present, adding a layer of complexity. As Dante attempts to enjoy his birthday, he is forced to confront the realities of his life and the challenges that lie ahead. He must find a way to balance his personal struggles with his responsibilities as a police officer, a father, and a partner. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.